Welcome back. Today we're going to review and taste the Ration Pack G, Australian Defence Force 24-hour one-man ration pack. Alright, so let's check out what we get inside. Protein drink, coffee flavour, isotonic drink powder, orange flavour, biscuit crisp bread, so that's one of our snacks. Instant mashed potato, that'll be part of a main meal. Natural muesli with fruits and seeds, so that's breakfast. M&Ms, another snack. Alright, so we've got our citrus cake, so that's could be a snack, could be a dessert. Put that over there. French lamb stew with 50% lamb, so that's going to be a main meal. Chili con carne, that's going to be a main meal. Another snack here, so this is the all fruit bar tropical flavour. We have our ration pack bread, so this is the multi-grain bread, so that could be a meal. Green seas tuna, sun-dried tomato and herbs. Golden pumpkin soup. Toilet paper, or you can use them as tissues. We have our 15 grams of creamer, so that can be used with the natural muesli. This is our accessories pack. We'll have a look at that in a second. Have our another snack here. This is the Jack Link's peppered steak bar. Another snack, whole grain cereal bar with seeds including chia. Another candy, Mentos, mint. Have plum jam. Ration pack spoon. A empty Ziploc bag that you can use to put leftovers or components you want to keep for later in. We have our ration pack cheddar cheese, sweetened condensed milk, chocolate ration, 50 grams of chocolate, matches, and our menu slash information guide about nutrition and all that sort of stuff. So that's everything in there. So let's just have a quick look at the what's in the accessories pack. So these are standard to all ration packs. So all ADF 24-hour ration packs. So we get 2 sachets of sugar. We get 2 black tea bags, 2 freeze-dried coffees, tomato ketchup, black pepper and salt, and my favorite, Tabasco sauce. Have a little scouring thing to clean your cooking equipment. We have 2 packets of sugar-free gum, Mentos. Ideally have this after a meal to freshen up. Vegemite, yeast extract spread that could be used on the bread or the crackers, or you could even put it into the mashed potato. We'll talk about that later. We've got our field ration eating device, or Fred, which is also used to, which can be used to eat from, or is used to open the can of cheese. So we're going to make breakfast. Alright, so what we're going to do with the muesli is we're going to make a bit of a porridge. So what we'll do is we'll just open this up carefully. And then we'll just put our creamer in first. So creamer goes in. And we'll also put some sweetened condensed milk in. Alright, now if it's a bit solid like this, like it is now, it's not really coming out easily, what you can do is just take that and just submerge that in hot water. And that will help it liquefy. So what happens sometimes with the sweetened condensed milk, it just gets a bit candied and then it's just very thick. Alright, so that's coming out a lot better, more easily. So we just won't overdo that, otherwise that will be way too sweet. But if you do have a sweet tooth, feel free to put more of that sweetened condensed milk in, as well as you can also add the sugar sachets in. Alright, so we're just going to pour a bit of water in. Just take my ration pack spoon, just give it a bit of a mix. Now depending on how dry or how liquid you want this, then add or retain or hold back the water. So I'll probably put maybe 100 mils in or so. So I'm just going to leave that for a little bit, and while I wait for that, and make up the tea. So I'm here with my son today, so we've got 2 teas to make. I'm going to share this ration pack. The ration pack is intended for 24 hours for one man. It is a lot of food, so between 2 people, you're easily going to cover all you need for one day if you're not doing a lot of activity. If you are doing a lot of physical activity, then you probably need the whole ration pack. Okay, so let's now open up the bread. So we'll have some bread for breakfast with our muesli. This does taste better heated up, so you can just boil some water and soak the bread pouch inside the water, but just out in the interest of time, not going to do that. And obviously in the field, soldiers really won't have a lot of time to do those sorts of things anyway, unless they're static and they're not doing much. Take those tea bags out. We'll pick those up a little bit later. Yeah, so it's not uncommon that the whole ration pack will actually be consumed entirely cold, because soldiers will just not have the time to heat up food. So the whole ration pack is designed, it can be eaten cold. Probably the only thing that I wouldn't like to eat cold will be the mashed potato. In theory, you could heat it, you could make that, prepare that with cold water. Haven't done it. All right, so while we wait for that, while we wait for the porridge, we'll start off and try the the bread with some tea. So that's the plum jam that we were putting on there. Here's your tikka.
Thanks.
Oh, the tea is good. So here's our multi-grain bread with plum jam. The texture is a bit better when it is warmed up, but as it is, it's good. If you're not a fan of multigrain bread, there isn't really a lot of multigrains in here, so it's actually not that bad. The plum jam, it has that tart taste, tartness to it. Obviously sweetness as well. So it is one of my favourite of the jam options in the ration packs. I'll take plum jam over all of the other jam options any day, just because I like that mix of tart and sweet. Next part of breakfast is our natural muesli with fruits and seeds porridge. So we added the creamer in here. We added some condensed milk in. So you can see how it's become a bit of a porridge there.
Thanks.
Got your spoon?
Yeah, it's in my pocket.
Alright, so you do get plenty of dried fruit in here, sultanas, it says on the back here, dried apricots, raisins, dried pineapple, dried cranberries, dried apples, pumpkin seeds. This has to be one of my favourite options out of the ration packs. The other breakfast options in the other ration packs are the pre-prepared porridge flavours, where you don't have to add any water. They're already mixed. You just heat them up. This has got to be my favourite, provided that I have hot water to make it. Okay, so we're back to have a snack. So this time we're having the all fruit bar tropical, apple, pineapple juice, mango puree, banana puree, concentrated lemon juice, citrus, fibre, and a few other bits and pieces. So quite a good mix here. So these aren't actually as sweet as you would think. Obviously there is sweetness there because of all the fruit, but it's actually not overly sweet. It has a good texture. It's a really good option to have in your pocket. For soldiers, a lot of them will carry the snacks around in their pouches. And when they haven't got time to sit down and prepare food, you can grab something like this out. and it's very good. I'm never disappointed with the fruit bars. Good. All right, next up is the Jack Link's peppered steak bar. So these bars come in different flavors. Peppered's pretty good. But not far off beef jerky. Tastes good. I like the peppered flavour. It's not a very strong peppery flavour. Although, if you don't like pepper, then it could be one that you want to swap with somebody else for something else. And we had this guy just visit us. I think he was wanting to try the ration pack as well. Alright, so we're back for our next meal. So this time we're going to do the instant mashed potato with cheese and Vegemite in there and the chili con carne. So I've done instant mashed potato with cheese before, it's good. I've never had Vegemite in there before, so let's give that a try and see what that is like. I know probably some of you are thinking, what the hell? That sounds disgusting, but let's wait and see and give that a chance before we make a call on that. Alright, so before I add the hot water into the instant mashed potato, I'm going to get the cheese in there because that will help it melt as the hot water is added. So we've got our filled ration eating device here, the Fred, opening up this can, and it's actually not that hard. Once you have that technique going, opening cans with this little guy, it is pretty easy. There we go, done. Alright, don't need any fancy can openers. Fred does the job. So we're just going to take little chunks of cheese, throw that down into our instant mashed potato. While I'm doing this, I want to give a shout out to my mum. Mum, who watches my ration pack videos. She likes watching these. Hi Mum, hope you're well. Yeah, so I know Mum is one of my regular YouTube supporters, so thank you Mum. And for anyone else out there watching this, if you're enjoying this content, would help me out if you drop me a like. If you aren't already subscribed, subscribe would be great to help me build the channel and reach a greater audience. And always love the comments. Thank you for those that like to comment. Positive, less positive comments, that's fine. As long as you, just any interaction is great too. Okay, so we've got our cheese in. Whoops, I've just dropped the Vegemite all the way in there. So Vegemite, for those that haven't seen it before, is a black yeast extract. And for most people around the world that are not Australian or from the UK or from New Zealand are familiar with similar yeast extract products. South Africa also, I believe, have these sorts of products. Not usually keen on this taste of Vegemite. Alright, so I think we've got most of it in there. And I'm making a bit of a mess here. Alright. So what I'm going to do now is take some hot water, just add that in now. Now, a key thing with the mashed potato is just mixing the hot water in, because if you don't mix it through, you have the dry areas of the instant mashed potato down the bottom. So you just want to mix that all through. So again, you can make this as dry or as liquid as you like. It's really up to you. The guidance is to add 1 cup of boiling water, so 250 ml. You can see here that I'm not using a measuring cup. Oh, I just poured hot water on myself, so try to avoid doing that. Yeah, so just eyeball this, because the reality is, for the soldiers in the field using this ration pack, you're not going to be sitting there with a measuring cup measuring out exactly 250 mils worth of water. So just eyeball it. If you're a bit over or a bit under, it's not a big deal. If you found that you ate this and you got to the bottom and you found a little bit is there that's unhydrated, you could just throw a bit more water in, just hydrate it. So I think that's enough of a mix. So I'm going to leave that now, and I'm just going to seal that up. And what I'm going to do is take my chili con carne and I'm going to throw that into the hot water, and that's going to submerge. Now I don't need to put that back onto the cooker. I can just leave that now, and that will warm up because it's hot enough. And what I'm going to do is, from time to time, after a few minutes, going to take that out and then move it around. Now ideally, if you could push that down and put a lid on it, excuse me, that would help retain some of the heat of the hot water, and you could use that hot water for something else, like another hot drink. But I'm just going to leave that like that for a while. We'll come back later. Alright, so while we wait for the chili con carne to heat up, we'll just start getting into this cheese mashed potato Vegemite mix. Alright, so that's what it looks like. Just add a little bit of salt. The Vegemite's already salty, so we don't want to overdo it with the salt. Add a little bit of pepper. And Carl, give that a whirl. See how that tastes. Bon appetit. Bon appetit. Pretty good. Yeah. So that combination of Vegemite, cheese and mashed potato is definitely a winner. So you can see there I've got a few undissolved mashed potato granules, so I can deal with that. Just add a tiny bit more water in there. So that's a definitely good combination. So worth giving that a try. Alright, so we've got our chili con carne. So you want to give me a bowl and I'll get some of this.
That potato was really nice.
This is the chili con carne, ground beef, beans. You want some Tabasco in that?
Oh yes, please.
So we've got our Tabasco sauce.
Thanks.
All right, let's give this a go.
It's pretty good.
Very good. Now, what I'm going to do is add it all in together. Chili con carne, chili con carne, mashed potato, cheddar cheese, Vegemite combination. Tastes good. Alright, so we're going to have an afternoon snack now. So we've got M&Ms, we've got our biscuit crisp bread and tuna chunks. For those of you who've been watching my previous ration pack videos, you know that I generally have combined the tuna with the mashed potato. And yes, I've seen the comments from some of you saying, oh my god, tuna and mashed potato, yuck. So as you can see today, I'm not doing the tuna with the mashed potato. Let's try the tuna with the crisp bread. So often the tuna is eaten as it is by soldiers that are using this ration pack in the field. Technically it could, I mean, you could easily just whack it in some hot water and warm it up if you wanted it warm. I haven't heard of people doing that, but what we're going to try is putting the tuna on some crisp bread. I'll give that a shot. So this has a sun-dried and tomato herb flavoring to it, so you have got that. So I think that does help. If it was just plain tuna, it probably wouldn't be very nice. What I'm going to do is just add some Tabasco here, and just see, and maybe just a tiny bit of salt. A little bit of pepper, why not? Yeah, well, I think the Tabasco elevates it a bit. A little bit of extra salt, a little bit nicer. I think on its own it's okay because it's a nice protein hit for you, but certainly paired with the crackers it does give that texture, so I think that's a good combination. M&Ms, look, I think pretty much everybody knows what these taste like. So these have been in Australian Army ration packs for probably about 30 years or so. What can I say? M&Ms, they're sweet, they're good. They're a great option to have in your pocket or in your pouches if you're in the field. Good option. All right, we're just going to have a quick snack before we move on to dinner. So we've got the whole grain cereal bar with seeds, including chia, and we've got the chocolate ration. Okay, so this one here, it's brown rice syrup, whole grain rolled oats, seeds, oatmeal, sugar, a few other things. So it's quite high carbohydrate if you do need that energy boost. If I can get this thing open. Okay. Come on, there we go, there we go. Alright, these are not really my favorite things, so just going to have a little bit of this. So you can see it's quite moist given the brown rice syrup. You can see the seeds there. I mean, it's sweet, but it's not overly sweet. So it's a good carbohydrate hit if you need it. And again, it's something that you can put in your pocket and eat it when you get a chance to eat. So yeah, I usually don't eat it. Not a big fan of it, but it's okay. Chocolate ration. So this is milk chocolate. So primary ingredient is sugar, dextrose, cocoa mass, vegetable fat. So it's a sweet chocolate. It's probably not quite as sweet as Cadbury chocolate. But I don't eat a ton of Cadbury chocolate, so maybe I'm not the best judge of that.
It's less sweet. I've had Cadbury, yeah.
Yeah, so my son said it's less sweet. Look, it's a nice little thing to have after a meal. Or if you need an energy hit. Tastes pretty good. Okay, so what we're going to do is the golden pumpkin soup. You could have this on your own like we're doing here, or you could probably combine this with the mashed potato if you didn't want to do the cheese and Vegemite. Or if you're really adventurous, you could combine it with the mashed potato and the cheese and Vegemite and see how that tastes. Alright, so we'll just get some water into here.
Nice spoons there, by the way.
Yep. And then we'll put our main course, the French lamb stew, into the hot water. To heat up. So has these croutons there. Yeah, it's a fairly, the flavour's nice. Has a little bit of sweetness. It's actually nice, quite good. Especially in cold weather like it is today. It's really nice to have a hot soup. Alright, so last main meal of the day. We've got the French lamb stew with 50% lamb. Alright, so that's what it looks like. Let's get some out here for Carl. Alright. There you go.
Thanks.
Want some salt and pepper in it?
Let me taste it first. No, it's fine.
Have had this before, so I know I like a bit of salt and pepper with this one. So we've got nice chunks of lamb, potato, nice gravy. It's a really good flavour. Probably could have held back a little bit on salt there. I think Tabasco would be good with this one as well, but I have used it already. It's a nice option. I'd say this is probably one of my favourite so far of the ration pack main courses. Although chili con carne comes close as well. So that's dinner. Now for dessert, we've got the citrus cake, which we've just had sitting in a bit of hot water there just to warm it up. This packaging is a little bit slippery for me. Get that trusty knife out. Right, so I'll just open this all the way up. So this is what the citrus cake looks like. Does taste better warmed up than cold. It's not completely warm, but it does taste a bit better warmed up. This cake isn't iced, it's just simply cake. There's no icing. It's not overly sweet. It has got some peel inside that you can taste. It's a mixed peel. So you can see a chunk of it there. It's pretty good. There are some things in the ration pack that we haven't tried today, that we won't try today. So this is the isotonic drink powder orange. This is really good in really hot weather if you've been sweating a lot, but it's cold weather here today. I really don't want to have that. It's just a lot of extra sugar that I don't really feel in the mood for. This other one here is the protein drink. This is recommended to be used before, during, or after strenuous exercise. Yeah, quite a high carbohydrate option. So again, won't be having this today. And then what's left over is the Mentos mint. So leave that for another time. So yeah, look, that's the ration pack. So ration pack G. So if we recap, very happy with the main courses there, the chili con carne and the French lamb stew. They were both really good. We did the cheddar cheese with the instant mashed potato and added Vegemite in. Felt that combination worked well. We had the tuna with the crackers. That was pretty good. And we've got some birds visiting us, some Australian ravens flying by. So look, I think overall, some pretty good options there. Certainly plenty of snacks if you really want the snacks. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.